Right, here's the big news coming in as Israel has managed to recapture control of the Gaza border, the fence that was breached by Palestinian Hamas gunmen who carried out a weekend's mass incursion. In fact, this happened on Saturday, wee hours of Saturday, right in the morning. They have managed to breach the border areas with much ease. Those fences that were not guarded, they used bulldozers and all kinds of heavy vehicles to breach through those borders. Israel now finally has retaken control of the Gaza border fence that was breached by the Hamas terrorists early Saturday morning, and is now planting mines in parts where barriers were toppled. This is Israel's way of countering Hamas terrorists. As you know, there were coordinated attacks all on land, on air and through water. A multi-pronged attack by Hamas terrorists, and most of those fences that they managed to breach with great ease, Israel has now managed to recapture those areas, the border areas along Gaza and Israel, and they've also planted mines in those parts where the barriers were toppled. There is no sparing Hamas terrorists at this point. Israel has managed to counter-attack, and how? It's been now 4 days, ever since of course they were taken on a back foot, but they came back with great ammunition and strength, have managed to neutralize nearly 1,500 terrorists, and those bodies have been found across parts of Israel where Hamas attacked. Now, Gaurav Sawant is joining us with a lot of details. What's happening on ground in Israel? Gaurav, we saw you being caught in the crossfire. It is tense situation on ground. Israel is really stepping up their attack, and we believe 2 Palestinian journalists have also been killed along the Gaza border, as the death toll on the Gaza side has reached up to 700. How is Israel responding? With what might, if you could explain?
Israel, again, is using both its intelligence network, its electronic intelligence, its signal intelligence apparatus and its assets on ground. At least that's the information we've been able to glean to figure out where the hostages are. And very clearly, at least on ground, we are being told that those numbers are not in dozens. They are much, much higher. The apprehension is, while they were taken in, the hostages, they've not been kept in any one location. They've been spread out. They've been split up. Families have been split up, and apparently they've been kept in a maze of tunnels along the Gaza Strip. Some of these tunnels have been exploited by Hamas terrorists in the past to carry out terrorist attacks into Israel. And it's a very complex maze of tunnels, we are told. Now, in that complex maze of tunnels, these hostages could have been kept. How do you rescue them? If more soldiers go in, the Hamas terrorists could have rigged those tunnels with explosives. They could detonate those explosives, and not just the hostages, but even the rescue teams could be, in the line of fire and in grave danger. So these are some of the huge challenges that the Israeli defense forces, the Israeli security forces face. There have just been aerial attacks and rocket and missile attacks that have happened. Ground troops are being amassed to be sent across. At the same time, there is an apprehension, as Hamas says, if there are more aerial attacks, each day they will take out one hostage. They will kill one hostage, and on live television. This is exactly like what the Islamic State terrorists used to do. If Hamas is doing the same or threatening to do the same, executing people on live television, because like the Islamic State, they've also been using GoPro cameras to shoot their killings inside Israeli territory, and they were not taking on combatants in every situation. They were also killing innocent civilians, the elderly women, the young children, toddlers were killed. In all of this, Israel says Hamas is no different than the Daesh, than the Islamic State terrorists.